Hey guys, welcome to episode number 146. Today is Wednesday, so it's DIY Wednesday, and today I wanted to do another unboxing because it is very much related to my aquarium stand and fish room build. These are the Marina hang-on, holding, and breeder boxes. They come in three sizes. There's a small, a medium, and a large. And basically the small is one compartment, the medium is two compartments, and the large is three compartments. I have the large model here. It holds approximately a half gallon of water. And the interesting part about it, and I know, and you guys know, there are a million little aquarium gadgets similar to this, but the interesting part about this one is that it doesn't sit on the inside of your tank like a normal net breeder would. Instead, this one actually sits on the outside of your tank, which is fairly interesting. It means that you're going to add water volume to your tank. If you attach one of these to the outside of a 20-gallon tank, you're actually going to add a half gallon of water to your total water volume. So that's always a plus. And it comes in a nice little box here. As you can see, it's one solid piece. It's got a lid that comes already pre-attached. It has two little tabs here which go back in place here when you're not accessing the inside. But I'm just going to take those off for right now. You've got a little finger hole. This is also a feeding hole, so it serves a dual purpose there. And then we've got the actual box itself. And as you can see, we've got little compartments here. They're just little gates that can slide in and out. You might have seen similar products for betas, which sit on the inside of your aquarium, that look similar to this. For my purposes, I'm going to be keeping my pregnant female endlers in here, and I'm not actually going to use these dividers, but it's nice to know that I have them in case I do need them. So this is the box itself. As you can see, there's kind of two sides to it. This is the inlet side, and this is the outlet side. It sits on the top frame of your aquarium. So if you have an aquarium without a black plastic frame, you probably want to check the thickness of your tank. I think it recommends having a minimum of 5 millimeters thick if you don't have a frame on your tank. But it sits on the tank, and essentially the water comes in through an airlift on one side, and then it exits as a waterfall on the other. So pretty ingenious. Obviously you're going to need an air pump to get this thing up and running, and you'll need probably some airline tubing as well, which is not provided in this package. But what we have here is a little bit of an array of parts, but they all go together pretty easily. So what we have here is the start of your uplift tube. What we can do is just add a riser on here, and depending on your water level, you can probably adjust this as needed. And on the top end of this, we have a little cap, and there's a hole in it that's going to let your water exit, and you can adjust the direction of that depending on where you want that to spill and enter into your breeder box. And then we've got a cap for the other end as well, and that's just going to kind of go on the bottom there. You're going to stick your airline tubing on there, and then there's just a little air grate here, so the bubbles are going to travel up the tube, airlift style, pull the water up with it, and then it's going to spill the water into the breeder box. So if we want to see where that goes, it simply goes on this side. There's a little notch here, so this should just fit right in. Goes in fairly easily. As you can see, it's starting to look a lot like a hang-on back aquarium filter, and it works in a similar fashion. We're just replacing the pump that typically drives one of those with this airlift tube, which is a little less destructive and you know, is a lot more safe for your fish. So the next thing we have here is a small piece of airline tubing, and what we're going to do is attach that to the end here. This obviously isn't enough airline tubing to reach your pump, but what it is enough to get to the top of this box. So that tubing goes straight up here. We've got a little channel designed specifically for that. So it kind of pops out the top here, and that's where it's going to stay for the time being. And as you can see, we've got an airline valve, so you can adjust the amount of air that's going to the end there. The bubbles are going to be fairly large because there is no air stone component to this, but the tube is a fairly small diameter, so it should all kind of break up and mix together as it goes up the top. So it shouldn't be too loud. The next up, we have some little feet here, and these are actually going to go on the bottom of your breeder box. And as you can, or you may or may not be able to see, it looks like a little star pattern, and that star pattern is repeated, kind of like a gear. It's repeated here. Now that allows you to firmly place these feet into place, and they should stay pretty well. What it doesn't do is allow them to move left or right. And if you want to move them left or right, you have to pull them all the way out and then adjust them and then push them back in. And what this is going to allow you to do is to adjust how far this thing sits from the side of your tank. And that's important because the frames on different size tanks are always going to be a little bit different. So this allows you to adjust exactly where this sits so that you can get this hang-on breeder box completely level with the top of your tank, so that it's not leaning to one side or the other, and you know, it kind of distributes the pressure evenly across everything. So the last part we have left here is this little spillway grate, and this is kind of the last step here before the water exits this chamber. We've got a little bit of a larger one if the fish we're keeping in there is larger, or if we expect there to be larger debris. We've got a smaller one if we've got very small fry that we don't want to spill out over the top. And so you can just slide those in. You can replace them, swap them as you want. So you're going to have an extra one, but it's a different size. So definitely keep those parts handy. And then once we're done, we can just slap this lid back on. It stays on fairly well all by itself, but if you're worried about your fish potentially jumping out, you can put these clips back into place. They're a little bit hard to get started. It seems like they go on one way fairly easily, but they don't go on the other way fairly easily. So there we go, our lid is nice and secure. Our hang-on breeder box is assembled, and as you can see, and I'm going to take you off the tripod here real quick, I do have a number of them all set up here, and these are going to go on my 40-gallon breeder tanks. I found that I can put 3 of these large hang-on breeder boxes on one side of my 40-gallon tank. I've got 4 tanks. So I've got enough of these to completely fill that wall with breeder boxes. It's going to be 1.5 gallons hanging off the side of each tank, which is a little bit of weight, and it might cause a little bit of stress on your seams, but it is going to be sitting on a black plastic rim. I did contact Marina, and they did recommend to only hang 1 of these on a tank that size, but I have a feeling like an extra couple isn't actually going to make that big of a difference, because most of that weight is being distributed by that plastic frame itself. So I'll definitely test that out and let you guys know how that works. But there's the hang-on breeder box. This thing is absolutely amazing. I was considering making something similar myself, out of acrylic, but when I saw the price on these, I just decided to buy these. Go check them out on Amazon or Ken's Fish. They're both listed for a fairly good price, and definitely consider using these if you have live bears or if you have fry, and if you want to keep them very close to their parent tank. How this thing works, I'll just run through it real quickly. Now that it's fully assembled, your air pump is going to be attached here. You can adjust your airflow, and that's going to put a lot of bubbles down here. Your airlift tube is going to cause water to enter up here. You can adjust which direction this head shoots the water into this chamber. You've got a half-gallon chamber here. You can put no dividers, 1 or 2 dividers in place to separate your animals, and then this chamber fills completely full of water, and then it spills back into the aquarium. So there's no need to heat this, and it's fairly easy to clean. You can just pop the top off and take a turkey baster and clean that sucker out, or if you're done using it, you can just dump the contents after you've removed the fish. You can dump the contents down the drain, and you're good to go. So anyways guys, look forward to all of these being set up on my 40-gallon tanks, and definitely check these out if you haven't seen them or if you haven't heard of them before. I'm sure it's going to make my life a heck of a lot easier, and I can't wait to get them all set up. But that's all I've got for right now, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.